On the last video, what we did was to process an invoice that is pending. What we're going to be doing now is to process an invoice when it is paid. Then we're going to look into the journal entries that are being processed by the system. Then from there, we're going to look into returns, issuing credit notes. Then we're going to look at the respective journals as well. Right. What I will do here is to come here from this section, sales, which is where invoices are. Then I'm going to go to the invoices section. The invoice in question was relating to John Doe. As you can see here, invoices are placed according to the date. So the latest created invoice is going to be first, right? And if you want to search for invoices, you can come here and go to search and use either the number or the status or the name of the customer or the amount that was included on the invoice. In this case, let me try and use Mbegi Logistics. You see already the search also comes in real time in terms of filtering. It gives me Mbegi Logistics in real time. If Mbegi Logistics was not there, then nothing was going to be returned. Let us continue with John Doe invoice. We're going to view the invoice. We see the status that it says pending. Now we want to process the payment invoice. So we're going to go to the status changed to paid. Then we're going to update the status into paid. Right. Now the agents have managed to complete the payment journal. We can go and browse to the journals to see what journals have been posted. Go to the journal. This is the journal that was posted on the 30th of July. Payment received, invoice, John Doe. Then we looked at the lines, right? So initially, the lines that were posted were this one was trade, debtors, control was debited. Then what was credited, logistics and transport revenue exclusive of VAT, right? Now what we have the payment coming in with also the VAT charge going into the bank account, going to the debtors control account. We already know that VAT output tax has been included there, meaning you are going to use this to calculate the VAT which has to be paid over to SARS. Then what we're going to do, we're going to post this transaction as well. With that, everything has been handled for you. The channels have been handled according to the IFRS rules, and the transactions have been posted into the system for you. What if it happens that you have to issue a credit note to the customer? What you will do is to go to the credit notes section. From the credit notes section, we have one that was issued, which was issued to Jane Doe. But we're going to ignore this one. We're going to issue a new one. Either we can issue it from here, or we can go directly to the customers, or we can go directly to the invoices. Look at the invoice that was paid, view the invoice, then I'm going to say credit note. Then from here already, what the system does, it links the invoice that relates to the credit notes that has to be issued. Then what you can do here is the same process. Have this as a draft and say refund for unused kilometers, provided that the client wanted a refund because there were certain kilometers that were unused. Let's take that the refund was for maybe 20 kilometers. After 80 kilometers traveled, we experienced an issue and all of that, we didn't manage to complete the trip. Then we had to refund the customer for the portion that has to do with 20 kilometers, right? Let me just have the notes here. Say refund for 20 kilometers not fulfilled, right? So it's the same thing. Let me just fix here. I'm not sure, fulfilled. This is the correct spelling for fulfilled. Let me just create a credit note. Now the credit note has been created. Now what I need to do is to issue the credit note. When I issue the credit note, then the journals with regards to this credit note are going to be posted for me the same way in which we did with the invoices. And I'm going to say issue the credit note, right? Then I'm going to wait for the journal to post for me. Then after posting, I'm going to review. Then now I think you suddenly start to see the step that we are following in terms of the posting of the journal entries onto the system. That you let the system agentically post the transactions for you. Then after posting the transactions, what do you do as an accountant or your bookkeeper is to review the transactions. What I'm going to do now is to do the review. Go to review. I'm going to see credit note, debit 230, credit 230. Then I'm going to open here, right? Then with regards to this, now the VAT output tax is being debited because now the VAT that is related to this revenue has to be reduced, right, by 15% of what is being reduced by, right? The revenue is reversed as well. Then we see account receivable being a trade debtors account receivable 230. But then what happens now is the fact that we have this here. There is an issue with this journal entry, right? The issue is the revenue is being reversed, which is correct. Then we have the VAT output, which is being reversed, is being correct. Then we have the trade debtors. But remember, from the top, after we've made a payment, after we've received the payment from the customer, we had this journal being the payment journal being processed into the bank account. So what was supposed to happen, instead of the money going out from the trade debtors of the value of 230, it was supposed to go to the bank account. So what you can do from here now, instead of saying trade debtors, what you can do is to have the main operating bank account. We have also F&B business account. Let's just verify where did the transaction go to in terms of the banks, right? Let me see, remove this amount so that I can see all of them, the posted ones. I have this here that regards to payment. So it was on the main operating bank account. So what I will do from here is to go to that transaction from here for the credit note. Then I'm gonna change here to main operating bank account. Then from there, I'm going to do what? Post the journal, right? So what happened was the AI agent captured the memory of the first action that was created with regards to the transaction being posted, right? And usually I will not blame the agent for doing it like this, because it's following things in terms of how the accounting process usually works, right? Is that you're going to issue an invoice. Then after issuing an invoice, before a client gets to pay for that invoice, they are going to review the product or the services that you have rendered to them if they are happy. Then if there are certain items that they're not happy with, they are going to return them to you. Then after returning those items, you're going to issue out a credit note to them. Then after issuing a credit note to them, they're going to make that payment, because it means that their invoice is now adjusted into the balance that they are owing, less the goods that they have returned. And then from there, it's going to reduce the debtors receivable. Then after that, you can sort of like make the payment, right? Yeah, so that's what the system was capturing in terms of the process. But remember, you need to also review the journals that have been posted by the agent itself.